Hello, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic is cool. It's how to get your husband to desire you even more. And there is a slight problem in my discussing this because it's so easy for me to come from my place to be, you might say, subjective rather than, and we take great pride at the Marriage Foundation in dealing with things objectively, in answering questions from universal principles that will apply to you no matter what your situation may be. You know, if you don't know about the Marriage Foundation, you should subscribe. We really approach marriage very scientifically, very positively. We wrap marriage around what it's supposed to be wrapped around. Happiness. You got married to be happy, didn't you? And love. Everyone gets married because they fall in love with their soulmate and they want to cultivate that love. And in this case, this topic is dealing with that specifically. It's dealing with how to get your husband to desire you more. I know you're not just talking about physically, because let's face it, that's pretty easy. We're talking about the kind of desire where he sees you as his queen. You're everything to him. You're who he wants to be with. And so we need to analyze this as, what does that really mean? What does he really want from you? Does he want your beautiful face? Does he want your amazing figure? Does he want your pleasing personality? And the answer to that is sure, but that's not really what it's all about. You see, both of you are souls, hence the term soulmate. And what happened was when you met each other, that spark that occurred, we call it infatuation, but that's not really what it is. This is a misunderstanding of ourselves as human beings. It shallows us. It makes us almost insignificant, like creatures who respond to bait. And that's not what happened. What happened was when you met your husband, you met your soulmate, because you are a soul. He is a soul. Now you have a mind and you have a body, and it follows that if you're connected at that level as souls, naturally you're going to find each other's bodies and minds and faces attractive. And that's what happens. It's why people fall in love, and I'm sure you have friends who have fallen in love with people who are not as attractive as they are on that magic 1 to 10 scale. And it's because they're soulmates, and you and your husband are soulmates. So, what happens is, because we're not taught, this is not your fault, it's not his fault, we are not taught about who we are growing up. We're not taught that we are souls. At best, we're taught that we have a soul, but we are not taught that we're souls who have a body, who have a mind. So we're essentially souls, and that's the level of connection that we started out with our soulmate, and then life took over, as they say. But what that really means is we lowered ourselves to the mundane. We started looking for things that we both enjoyed, mundane things. As wonderful as those things are, as much fun as it is to go to the movies together, to go to dinner together, have a glass of wine together, maybe your thing is to go into nature together, but that's still, those are nice, those are wonderful to enjoy this creation together, and that's what you're supposed to do. But the connection is the connection of love. And I'm not talking about the love of, wow, I really love how you dress. I really love how you carry yourself. Those are wonderful. But that love has no tangible definition. It's an intangible, yet you know it to be very real. We all do. Unfortunately, the world doesn't like spiritual things, yet what could be more spiritual than love itself? Love has no boundary. Love is ever increasing. Love, when we feel it, overwhelms the mind, because the mind is a machine that we have in order to exist within creation. But it's not who we are. Again, we have a mind. So this state of love, let's call it the state of love, is where your marriage is meant to be lived. And then you deal with all the rest of the stuff. You act your way through life, and you don't take life as seriously as you take that deep, deep joy of the soul, that deep, deep joy of love. So, how to get to your husband to desire you even more? It's kind of interesting. The answer is that you keep working more and more on uncluttering your mind, because the mind pulls you in, you see. The mind is a machine, and it has all of these softwares. It has emotions, it has survival, which comes from the body, it has all this software, and the mind thinks of itself, not really, it's figurative, as all important. It's your great protector, and it doesn't even want you to interfere with it protecting you. It's sort of a very interesting thing if you look at it kind of metaphorically and not actually for what it is, because the mind doesn't think actually like that. The mind is intelligent, but it's you who is the intelligent one. And so the mind does not want you to experience love. It scares the hell out of it. Think about that. Remember when you go to a wedding and all of a sudden there's this moment when, and it comes at any time. In the Bible they go, he comes like a thief in the night, and that's love. And you feel this overwhelming love. And then right away the mind starts editing and reporting and thinking rather than just experiencing. And yet marriage is all about experiencing the joy and the love. And so when you unclutter the mind, when you learn how to master your mind, which is a requisite for feeling real happiness, and you're able to compartmentalize these thoughts, these feelings objectively, and instead turn your attention, your focus on the love, on your heart, not on expressions of love, but on the love itself. Then you start to become so desirable to your husband, because that's why he married you, and so irresistible that you don't have to work on it. You don't need a 10 things to do to get your husband to desire you even more. You don't need those kinds of things. You need just this one thing. And it works. And it truly works. And I've just been doing this for over 20 years. I used to be a divorce mediator. And our approach at the Marriage Foundation, if you've been following us, is very practical. It's very scientific. It's very methodical. And we have courses for men and courses for women and books. However, it works. What we do works. And in that light, I'm going to segue into the fact that if you've been following us and you've considered becoming and I know many of our subscribers are therapists, because some of them are angry therapists because we don't go along with these ideas of narcissism and boundaries and the right way to argue. We don't do all that stuff. But for those therapists who have been testing what we do with your clients, for marriage coaches, for clergy, and I know we have we have over 27,000 followers right now, subscribers. So if you're interested in becoming a TMF certified counselor, and when I say TMF, I mean the Marriage Foundation, then I'm letting you know now that I'm starting to put together an online course. I can't train you individually the way I used to, so we're going to put it online. We're going to create a society. We're going to help with marketing. I'm going to teach you everything that I did, because for years, all I did was worked with people individually and as couples. And I developed systems, methods, and it's so effective. And you know, when I was doing this, and I was doing it in San Diego, really great market, the therapists who I had trained would even refer their quote-unquote tough cases to me because they knew I didn't fail. And this is the whole thing. How could you be a marriage counselor and fail? It should be a very rare occurrence. You should be able to take your clients from where they are right away in the very first session up into a positive direction. And that's what we do. So if you're interested, we'll be pre-selling the course. It's not online yet. It's not on the website yet. But go to the website now. Use the contact form. Contact our customer support and let them know that you have an interest. In that way, when we're ready, we'll let you know. So in the meantime, like this video. Leave a comment if you wish. If you have a question for yourself in your situation, you can, it's a free service that we have. You could write to our counselors and they'll be happy to help you. I'm so glad you joined me. God bless you and take care. Thank you.